So, Sheriff Marco's in town.
Sheriff Marco's in town.
So I think, honestly, it's a great pick. I mean, it's an okay pick. The Ixie is decent, but what it can do is it can kind of kite back with that second skill. If the Nolan's coming after him, it does have some abilities of that, the heroes that are trying to dive onto it, to where Ixia does not have that. So maybe that's going through the mind.
Going through the mind or not, we're going to be loading up into the land of Dawn. Once again, game number 1 here, the upper bracket final. The team to start the lead here will have the momentum. It's ONIC versus AP.Bren. As we take a look at these early rotations here, Kairi going to be on the Nolan, who has been constantly banned out. And when it's been locked in, teams have had to come up with an answer against it. Does AP.Bren have that answer?
They might. There's no other reason you would actually leave the Nolan open unless you already have some countermeasures against it, especially when you're up against Kairi. Keyboy, very early on, gonna be chunked down already by AP.Bren. And this is what ONIC will have to deal with the entire day. Every time AP.Bren gets a small win, you can hear a big, big reaction from the crowd.
All right, taking a look at some of the emblems. Does look like Sansa's gonna go for a little bit more utility there, get some movement speed, get some cooldown, but Boots building pretty aggressively, building sustainably, going for some spell vamp there, could be the answer. So far we've seen the Khalid with so much damage, and we've seen the Khalid actually win out on top of the Terizla recently. It does become a little bit of a skill matchup, but Flapteezy with the movement speed doesn't have to pick up the Boots here, and he can still probably outspeed Boots here. So definitely gonna be interesting the way that this EXP lane pans out overall. I'm excited to see how it works. And hold up, so wait, it is, we completely looked over this. It is mid lane Phoveus.
Yeah. You know, again, when that Khalid was locked in, we didn't really point it out, but I think a lot of people at this point, they're so used to Few just being like, all right, I'm gonna throw a Fredrin in the main lane. Hey, I might throw the Phoveus there, and they make it work usually, right? That's one thing, again, when we talked about both these teams, the capability to go ahead and just channel that hero pool, bring something surprising out or make it work is what gives them that advantage in a lot of these matches. And again, considering this is what AP.Bren loves to do. Go ahead and focus on these objectives.
Penalty zone onto the back view. Now Demonic Force ready. Kalteezy picks up the first turtle. Oh! Amazing sandstorm from Flapteezy as well to claim first blood and a double kill to start things off in game number 1.
So before the point that I'm about to give was already shown, having the Phoveus in the mid lane, especially against the Nolan, overall just feels like such a smarter choice than putting it into the XP, because you get to just follow the Nolan around. You get to always be there in these team fights. You get to rotate. So I think it is such a smart maneuver to stick this on to Few. Sometimes it's more of a, oh, we just have to put it there. But I think honestly, this was the plan from the start.
Interesting fact here as well. Guinevere and Matilda combination. It's been picked 6 times, but the win rate for M5 is 83%. That is a strong duo, if you will, between the heroes, right? The way they interact. Look at this already, the aggression from Ogwyn.
I mean, it's essentially a guaranteed knock-up for the Guinevere. You hit the Circling Eagle, Guinevere just travels around with you. Let's say you knock 2 up. All Guinevere has to do is pop the Violent Requiem, and you don't even have to land your Spatial Migration or anything like that. So definitely works out well. And then all of it just pairs so well. The whole mid-net lane of AP.Bren just complements each other perfectly right now.
Again, that's one of the strengths there as well. Having the Nolan, you have the Fracture, it can help you get out of some of those landing spatial migrations, but still the pressure.
Whoa! Requiem into the spatial migration, into the Demonic Force! That's an implosion by Keyboy, a flicker to the wall. A Demonic Force again for the side of AP.Bren to find a kill. San's not gonna be caught in another spatial migration. They're styling on ONIC in the 4th minute of the game, stealing the purple buff away.
Not only are they styling, but this is the AP.Bren you do not see all the time. Normally they take it slow. Normally they strangle them, but right now they are slamming into ONIC at full force.
The 2.3K lead they've garnered themselves now, the second turtle here. ONIC though, despite all that, still want to go ahead and focus on this, but AP.Bren making their way for the fight.
Risky move, Flapteezy poking Boots down right now as Ogwyn flies by Keyboy. Knocks him out with a Circling Eagle. Sans is looking for an angle. Kalteezy on the turtle. Penalty zone coming down as well. That's going to be Kairi who secures the turtle, but a Violent Requiem. Spatial Migration with a Raging Sandstorm knocks 2 up, and it's a 2-kill trade for the neutral objective.
Was it worth it?
No.
Probably not. But he got the turtle. Kairi is having to put in extra work to just get these objectives even close, but every time AP.Bren has an answer.
AP.Bren is everywhere right now, all at once. And like I said before, you don't see him play like this very often, but I think that was part of the plan. Let's catch ONIC off guard. Let's come in like no other team is going up against ONIC. Like most teams come into the game a little bit worried. They want to take it slow, but AP.Bren knows their strong points. They know they have the ability to bully any team in the bracket, and ONIC, for the first time in a while, is feeling that pressure.
Again, as they put the pressure in the jungle, AP.Bren wants to work around this lead. Real quick, items, how's it looking here, Trex?
So far, the main thing I want to point out is into this gold lane. Neither of them oh, wait a second.
Another penalty zone into an implosion right now. Comboed in together with a guiding wind. They're able to get out, but the Violent Requiem once again comes down to turn things around. Hugh getting one final shot to the bottom. Force Kairi dashing away, but Hugh is inevitable. Sans getting gunned down by Sheriff Marco. 3 for 0.
9-0 at 6 minutes in. What is going on? The Hive is buzzing, and ONIC is having trouble keeping up. Back to the items now. Kyle Teasy is on fire, 4,300 gold. He's got almost a full 2K gold leader, a 1.5K gold lead over Kairi right now. Kairi has only gotten in the Hunter Strike. On the side of Kyle Teasy, we've got the Dreadnought. We've got the Molten Core getting started. I mean, it is becoming a problem.
So let's think about it here once again, given the fact that AP.Bren heavily in the lead right now, most likely we'll be able to just secure this turtle as well. The third one of the game, it's better for ONIC just to wait, buy time, get to a point where you are online. Kairi has struggled for the majority of this. Sans needs a couple items as well in this Lilia to help pump out the damage. And with that, the next turtle's taken here for AP.Bren, and they go right for the purple buff, but Kairi does not get it this time. Kyle Teasy.
He's feeling a CW now. In that goal, it's gonna be dove on. He doesn't even need Kyle Teasy to jump on him. It's Trooper Marco who gets him down with the quick draw.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, partner.
And he just locked in the Berserker's Fury for Super Marco. He's gonna be unloading. He hasn't even come into the equation yet. ONIC, on the other hand, oh, wait a second.
You're going again?
Spatial Migration of the Violent Requiem into the Raging Sandstorm. The Wombo combo once again under the tier 1 to catch Keyboy for the 4th time in this game. 11-0. AP.Bren are slaughtering ONIC.
And Flap Teasy just got in the Blade of Despair as well. A lot of time he won't build that up front, but when you have this much of a lead, you are just gonna hammer that item in. And now that is gonna put them even more ahead. That double combo that they've been landing every time, the Violent Requiem onto 1 or 2 members, Flap Teasy comes in with the Raging Sandstorm. How does ONIC even compete with that? Using Keyboy right now on the Tigreal, I'm wondering whether that was a good pick. I was wondering if they should go for something a bit more supportive. They went for the aggressive Tigreal, but the thing is how can Keyboy catch any of them? The movement is everywhere, from the Spatial Migration, the Guiding Wind, all of the above. It just seems like a very tough game for ONIC.
Tough game as well for Kairi as in terms of the jungle. Resources go. Flap Teasy though, look at the damage, but Boots gonna fight back. Okay, both ultimates used. Once again, Kyle.
Spatial Migration, the Fracture grants Kairi but not from everything else. Ogwen's perfect circling eagle into Kyle Teasy's Requiem.
Again, difficult game here for Kairi and everyone for ONIC. The layering of ultimates is just on point from AP.Bren right now. Lord gonna be up, and they have all control right now in this game in the 9th minute, as this first Lord will go to AP.Bren undecisively.
AP.Bren, 8.8 gold lead.
They're at the average, bro.
They're at the average. They're at ONIC. They're passing ONIC's average right now. I don't think ONIC was prepared for this type of aggression in game number 1. I think they completely got caught off guard. ONIC right now in complete shambles of game one.
Look at that.
I know it's a long series.
Look at that.
But Kyle Teasy feels good.
Kyle Teasy's feeling good, as he should. Alongside, once again, the 10,000 gold lead. Now, we have to say that we have seen things turn around before, given 10,000 gold leads, but at this point, it just looks like ONIC doesn't have the potential to find the setups they're looking for, even with a Tigreal combo. The Wombo combo is not there for them because the damage is just not online yet. Even CW, it's taken him so long at this point to get to where he needs to be on the Bruno. But now they have to deal with the Lord topside and AP.Bren knocking on the base of ONIC as they approach into it.
Looking for the siege with the first Lord of the game up top. Boots holding it down right now, but the Circling Eagle does come through from the side of Ogwen. Knocks Boots up just a bit. Kyle Teasy pushing some damage as well. Kairi with a fracture. Not with the fracture, just with the passive alone. Takes the Lord down. Still value for AP.Bren, but Keyboy spot out. Flap Teasy with a few slashes. A good shove back for the rest of the team, but that's a flicker burnt out by Keyboy. And that's even more value for the Bees.
A good play by Keyboy there. The average roamer may have panicked, hit the implosion. He knew, I just got to get out of here. If I hit the implosion and try to force my team out when we're at a 10K gold deficit against AP.Bren, it's just not a smart play. Taking a look at the items, right now Super Marco getting decked out. Looks like he's going to be working into the BOD next. Once he gets out, then it's a lot of trouble.
That's a dive all the way. Kaltizi able to knock up one. Ogwen doing a little bit of that capitalization, but ONIC were still able to fend off of this defense. AP.Bren falling back, playing it disciplined. They are calm. 12-0, 10,000 goal lead. That's big bounties on the board if they lose their lives.
Yeah, they gotta keep it together, right? Take the discipline route. Now, the one thing, too, that has been pointed about AP.Bren in M5 specifically is the chance that sometimes they do let these leads kind of slip out of hand a little bit, right? But for the most part, they're able to keep things under control. Now, this time, ONIC looking to punish a mistake from AP.Bren. Where could that mistake be when constantly it's AP.Bren on the aggressor?
We do have to say, if there's any team that could come back onto AP.Bren from a 10K gold deficit, if I had to choose one, I would definitely say ONIC. They do have some scaling efforts here with the Lilia. We know how much damage Sans can do or Lilia can do if this game creeps on. Same thing with the Bruno. They have set potential with Keyboy. But that is a long road ahead. They're gonna have to defend this now. They do have Kairi. If Kairi can go for some sort of, you know, magic Lord steal, which we've seen him do before, it can buy time, but he has to do that on a solo mission. And that is a solo death mission at that, but it would be worth it. As long as the other 4 members stay up, if he goes down for a Lord steal, it could be fair.
Okay, given the fact that this is gonna be another Lord here for AP.Bren, uncontested, no entry points, no angles for ONIC to go, but itemization-wise, they're getting to the point, right? 13 minutes in, they were quite behind. They're still far behind, but they're picking up some key items that could help them in the team fight. 2 Malefic Roars now for them, the Divine Glaive as well for Sans. That's going to be something he needs as well to help with the team fight. But again, when you're dealing with nearly what's across from you economy-wise, item-wise, it's going to be tough to turn these fights around. So they have a little bit longer. Lord going up on the top side.
You look at the gold lead between the gold lane, jungle, and mid, you're like, okay, it's not that bad. And then you see a 4,000 gold lead between the XP laners. Flap Teasy said in the interview, he's gonna sweep ONIC, and right now, he's feeling that confidence.
To really put it into perspective, it takes about 62K gold to have everybody maxed out. ONIC is halfway there, and we're 14 minutes in.
And the Lord just came crashing down, taking 1 turret down. San's gonna be engaged on a good black shoes. And that's a spatial migration in the Violet Requiem. Baited out from AP.Bren. Kairi dealing some damage with the help of CW to clear out that enhanced Lord in the 14th minute of the game. Look at the defend in the mid lane. Raging Sandstorm coming down. CW still able to dash away. A penalty zone. Not the Flap Teasy. Kairi jumps into the fracture as well, but spatial migration dodged away from Keyboy. Two back. No implosion just yet. He already used it initially, and it's not enough CC to lock any of the AP.Bren members down.
Hey, that held it together. ONIC stays in the game a little bit longer.
The way that they juggled that as well, back and forth, didn't lose a single member, honestly, is a miracle in a sense. ONIC able to kind of juggle all of that damage, use the skills correctly, and nobody went down. And this is at a 12,000 gold. Oh!
Big shove over Raging Sandstorm, though. Not going to be able to catch anyone. Boots in the back line, finds the penalty zone.
Oh!
4 members, almost turning it around, bring it back. Super Marco, grenade bombardment to poke them down. One more shot might take CW out, and he dashes out of it, slides out of the range.
Still AP.Bren, you're seeing it happen, right? The further the game goes, they gotta respect this damage now from ONIC a little bit more, right? We talked about the key items being picked up, the Malefic Roars, the Divine Glaives, allowing some of this penetration to go through now. It's happening here, but still, there's quite a disparity amongst the lanes here, the roles.
All right, so taking a look back at these items, CW still trying to bide a bit of time, but he's got the Malefic Roar in now. So he's got 3 items in. He's able to actually punch a nice bit of damage. We saw how fast he can melt down the Lord. Honestly, at this point, AP.Bren was testing the waters in a sense of, can we end the game without a Lord here? Can we do something huge here? No. I don't think they can at all. They're definitely going to need the Lord, which means they need to wait a little bit. They can't try to force this. If they do and they get caught in that bottleneck, ONIC could catch them off guard.
The 12,000 gold lead ahead right now, but Super Marco, again, he went for the Great Dragon Spear here as his final item, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and so no one in nature, right? That does give an opportunity ONIC to maybe look for a dive, a flank towards Super Marco, but for CW, he actually is building towards that win in nature.
Yeah, that could change the course of some of these fights. He also just picks up the DHS. Can have that available. Keyboy, though.
Caught in the circling eagle into the battle Requiem, into the spatial migration, and it gets melted down, taken out. That's an unstoppable record for Flapteezy. AP.Bren pushing their lead even further, catching ONIC once again, and picking up, this time still, an enhanced Lord.
Becoming a little bit of a problem here. ONIC still on the back foot, and I'm talking waves coming in from every angle. If they can pull off another defense, they've got 17 seconds until Keyboy is back up. He was very important to defense.
Oh! Black Shoes barely in time. Flapteezy able to flicker out with a quick sand guard as well, but the demonic force comes down onto the base. AP.Bren have dealt with 2 base. CW's low, very low, forced back, still not dead though. Keyboy respawning back in time, but AP.Bren will have an enhanced Lord up top, marching down.
You know, there's something really important we got to point out here. ONIC is still yet to get a singular kill.
Yeah.
Kairi has not found anybody. What is going on right now? Lord encroaching in.
This is a big one. AP.Bren looking for an opening to get an initiation fuel. Getting the shield with a photo as well from the side of Ogwin with a guiding wind. Now Flapteezy to be poked down by Sans with the Gloom's Few. Caught off guard. Has the Winter Truncheon. Has the guiding wind. Gets out. 3 base turrets, and AP.Bren decide we're out of here.
They're out of here, and ONIC still looking for a kill on the board, and even a turret. They have no space to work around with right now, but one thing's for sure, they're fighting. Their base is fully exposed, but the damage is getting there. Once again, they're working towards it. Kairi onto his next item as well. But again, how many times can you let that happen? How many times can you defend against that Lord pushing in now that your base is fully exposed here? The gold lead has bloomed to nearly 16,000 now for AP.Bren. Flapteezy still having that immortality, will be fine. But once again, it's kind of the waiting game, right? They're going to wait nearly the 1 minute for the Lord unless they can get a pick off.
So it took about 5 minutes for them to move from 30K gold to 44. So for them to get to that point where the gold doesn't matter anymore, we're talking about at least another 5 or 6 minutes. Can ONIC last that time to where then it just comes down to plays? Then it just comes down to the movements on the map.
Circling Eagle coming down onto Keyboy, knocks 2 up. It's Kairi and Boots right now, and they're looking for a re-engage. That's Flapteezy, who's able to steal away the orange buff from ONIC. A retribution used up, but it's going to be back on time for that Lord.
Let's go ahead and think about the possibility here of, is there a chance that ONIC can actually get in position to possibly steal a Lord at this point, right? This is,
Black Shoes baited out. Flapteezy taken low though. The demonic force is ready. Few decides to go. Fighting tackle out. Flapteezy only losing immortality. Sounds gonna be able to kite away for it now. Kairi's waiting in the midst. Few coming down. Keyboy with a lot of damage, with a lot of CC lockdown. Kairi tries to shut down the fracture as well. Sans still able to kite away. Flapteezy looking for one final hit with retribution. Slows him down. Sans pops into Black Shoes. Flapteezy not able to dish out enough damage, and Sans gets out in time. Boots still alive. ONIC still alive. 1 for 1. My goodness.
They're on the board.
Finally a kill on the board. 1 for 1. But honestly, that is a win for ONIC. A trade at this much of a deficit. 10K more gold is what ONIC needs here. But you asked if they could go for the Lord. I think at this point, it is definitely possible because AP.Bren has hit their peak in power at this point. ONIC is only going to continue to go up as they get more items in. Everybody's essentially decked out on the side of Bren, and we're already seeing ONIC start to contest.
CW is back. Flapteezy now. Only now is he starting to march into that Lord pit. Keyboy's trying to reset it the best he can. Topside wave still coming down onto ONIC's base. They need to be able to do that housekeeping.
They're going to have to deal with these waves. Meanwhile, AP.Bren going to keep the Lord less than half health for now. They're going to send CW back to deal with it. Flapteezy also putting the pressure. ONIC's going to run back. Ogwin using the Circle Eagle, but nothing can happen just yet. Kairi, though, he's got to get out as well.
But the Lord, 20 minutes in, CW had to move up top. They had to send him down.
Not a whole lot they could do there. Maybe switch over to Boots, but they want that engage. They want to try to give Kairi enough space, and I get the idea, right? CW, yes, he's their damage dealer, but I don't think they were going for a team wipeout or anything. They're going, let's buy time. Let's get a moment where we can CC everybody and Kairi can steal the Lord. That was denied. Taking a look at the items, everybody on the side of AP.Bren is decked. Can ONIC defend this, Mirko?
Not too sure about this, man. I mean, 13,000 gold lead for AP.Bren, but like you said, the later the game goes, ONIC will make that gold lead irrelevant. Kairi's dealing some damage. They're actually holding out the waves.
Yeah, with that too, Super Marco is going to pick up the Wind of Nature for this fight. It comes down to this Lord push as both teams poke back and forth.
Winter Truncheon already used up by few. He swapped into Immortality right now. CW to be brought back to the team right now. Is a Raging Sasscorp. Will be hours away from by Kairi. CW pops in with Nature, able to dish out some damage. Kill. The base is wide open, but it's going to be cleared out. Sans in the back, doing some damage. Immortality's falling left and right. AP.Bren losing members. Flapteezy with the patient by break. Base an implosion, and just like that, the Sky Kings descend from the skies back to the Philippines.
I've got chills right now. What is going on, ONIC? At 22 minutes, making the comeback. Are they going to be able to run this down mid?
I said let's dream earlier. What just happened? Taking a look at the instant replay presented by Kadia. It just unfolds here. Masterclass. Keyboy finds the implosion of a lifetime.
Keyboy, that one play. Now the base is wide open. One straight push. Is it all they need?
It is a very safe and free space to just unload.
Great insights once again here on both drafts as we get loaded and ready once again to head into game number 2. ONIC with a miracle play, able to take game 1 in the series, the best of 5 against AP.Bren. Despite all their efforts in game 1, how will AP.Bren adjust to even out the series 1-1 here? As we get prepped and ready to see the series on how it happens. We get the signal. We're going to be jumping into the Land of Dawn. Game 2 ahead of us. ONIC versus AP.Bren. It's 1-0 for ONIC right now. You can already see the pressure from Keyboy.
Doing some damage. Oh, a flicker as well. Burnt out by Keyboy here. But I do want to talk a little bit more about this Odette. In the matchup that we saw previously when Few picked this up, the Odette was also picked up against the carry. So now it's an assassin and a carry, right? Two very, very vulnerable targets for the Odette to catch.
Yeah, definitely very vulnerable. Carry has to try to move in, right? So it's definitely not going to be Carry's job to deal with Few. Taking a look at the emblems, nothing too out of the ordinary. Boots going for the same exact setup as last time. CW does pick up a nice defensive emblem there. Make sure that if Kairi needs to, it can kind of survive a little bit of a gank there. Taking a look at these items, CW as well doesn't go for the boots, whereas Super Marco does. Super Marco also going to pick up, going to go straight into possibly the defensive boots there. So a slightly different route than normal.
Okay, speaking of, they already get the flicker out from Few, right? Putting the pressure there. Sans takes a shot, Ogren's going to block it, but you see how this time around, because Kairi has this type of lineup to work around this Nolan pick, it allows him to farm up pretty confidently. He is a little bit ahead of Kyle Teasy as well right now, right? So Turtle's going to be up here in just a couple seconds. They'll both get in position. A lot of these still trying to get that level 4, the ultimate's available. That's why they're parking themselves in the XP lane. Both junglers lead into the Turtle.
Clear up top a bit faster for ONIC. Kyle Teasy looking for the setup as well, but Keyboy just pops in at Power of Nature. And a wild charge, and Keyboy gets the Turtle as well.
Wow!
Game number 1, it was 2 kills and a Turtle over to AP.Bren. Game number 2 starts off with ONIC doing the same thing.
That is a big switch up from what we saw last time. This time ONIC bringing the aggression. You can tell their morale is up. I mean, after winning a game like the last one, you gotta feel good about themselves. ONIC definitely in their zone right now. AP.Bren need to try to kind of get things back into the groove. It's not too huge of a loss, but it is already 2K in the first 3 minutes.
The thing about it too, Super Marco is going to have the pressure here, but you know, when you're talking about the mid lane picks and you're talking especially about Sans here, the Novaria, his track record on this Novaria is insane. His success rate is very good, but not only that, the fact that the way that he plays it to the point where, yes, you're topping the damage meter, you're topping, you know, you're farming up really, really well here, but also the vision that's usually on point allows this.
Wild charge flicker combo into the fracture. Kairi gets rid of Few, and that's another combo together. Ogwen wall down, but ONIC, they'll take this win. 4-0 Sans, canceling out the recall. Keyboy looking for an angle once again to maybe cancel another recall, but Ogwen just stays behind that turret. We'll try to facilitate Flap TZ's way back to clear this wave.
Take a look at the junglers right now. Kairi with a 1,300 gold lead already. He's got the Hunter striking. Whereas when we take a look at Kyle Teasy, he's got practically nothing on his side.
That's a wall down. Super Marco going to be caught, pinched down right now with a lot of damage coming through. Kairi will be able to give CW the kill down below. The entire turret shield as well into an Astral Sphere and an Astral Echo, revealing Ogwen and Fuse, zoning them away for CW once again to farm up and shove the wave back to the turret.
And putting the pressure once again. Sans is just on point so far. Even with the lead that he's garnered himself, right? 2-0-3 on the Novaria allows him to continue to do this. Just kind of siege from, you know, the safety, from distance. That's why the Novaria is so great. But as I was saying before that fight even broke out, you know, the ability to provide vision allows even Kairi to rotate a lot more confidently. And even Keyboy, the fact that he picked up this Grok, at this point, he's just walking vision, right? He's one of those vision getters.
He's a getter vision.
He's a getter of the vision.
And another great thing about Keyboy, why he can do this so well is when he pops that first kill, he's immune to the CC, right? So he can go into the enemy jungle without fear of the magic thumb, without fear of getting knocked up. And as long as he has Sans sitting in the back lane behind him, he knows he's good. I mean, he's
take the long way.
Disgusting.
He's making Flap TZ walk to his base.
You don't get the recall. You have to walk. That's what Keyboy does. So with that, again, this is very different from the previous game, right? You're talking about now the 5 minutes in, almost 5,000 gold ahead, and you can see just how strong they are in the lanes, right? Super Marco doing a relatively, trying to keep up as much as he can, but still the pressure being put through every single lane right now as they go on.
All right, so 5K gold lead for ONIC right now. AP.Bren cannot find an opening. I think they know, all right, let's take this slow. We're pretty much going to try to pull an ONIC this game. But ONIC has a composition that scales so well into the late game with CW, with Sans, with the amount of vision they can have overall. Taking a look at the item CW, he's got the Scythe in. He's got the Golden Wand in. He's 2/3 of the way to the Holy Trinity, and it's going to be trouble once he locks that in because the rest of his team is,
Spatial Migration, Val Requiem, and the Swan Song onto Keyboy. Final slash as well, but Keyboy gets out with a wild charge. That was Kairi into the back of Fracture, not getting him just yet. Minute Fury, Flicker combo, boots with the penalty zone. distracting the back line. Open, barely dodging away from that last hit, but CW is rotating over already now. Immobilized under the turret. Boots taken low right now. Vengeance comes down with the Astral Echo with a few more hits. CW finds the kill under the tier 1 of AP.Bren.
ONIC Esports goes from getting caught off guard to completely responding, finding a kill, and almost a tower for themselves.
Oh, Keyboy.
Are we gonna be able to make it another one?
That's a knockup, but Keyboy's still chasing. He's chasing.
He's hungry.
Few gets the dash. Super Marco gets Few out, but all that, while that was happening, ONIC took what?
Whoa!
With a wall onto Few.
You cannot recall right now if you're AP.Bren because there's a gator hunting you down.
Final slash in the Valor Requiem, but Keyboy just charges wildly back.
He's not even stressed about it. Keyboy's like, it's okay, you can knock me up for a second, I'm good. I just wild charge away. No problems.
And now, ONIC are at their average.
This is the average, right? But now it's only 7 minutes in. It's kind of crazy to think about what that gold average is that they have leading into M5, now the 8.4K ahead. And it's flipped around. It's weird, right? You're 7-0.
Is this what these games are going to be, essentially? We're just going to go back and forth, each team starting the game off with a 10K gold lead.
And then one moment that changes everything.
Is that the possibility here?
That is a possibility.
It's one moment.
It's one moment.
If you had.
Shout out.
Moment.
Shout out to Yasu.
Shot.
All right, taking a look at the items once again. Few just getting that first item in. This is a problem, right?
This is.
We saw the same thing from AP.Bren last time, but I would argue that AP.Bren has a slightly worse composition to try to pull off what ONIC did last time. And AP.Bren didn't have the scaling capabilities that ONIC has this time. CW is just getting involved into these team fights. It's only been a few minutes, and now that they're grouped up, now that they're ready to push in, it's going to present more and more of a problem.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it too, right? The fact that we talked so much about this Odette pick, but unfortunately for the game, it's really just been stopped, right? You really haven't been able to see the Swan Song do anything just yet. You see AP.Bren dealing with the siege from a distance, and once again, why the Novaria pick was so great. It was so crucial for the game plan here for ONIC as they approach this game. Even with that, right, you need, you know, when we looked at the comparison, as this Lord is just going to be taken uncontested for ONIC, when you looked at the comparison, right, the lineup power was in favor of AP.Bren.
Yep.
But they have not been able to execute the lineup that they've drafted. Again, looking at Novaria here, this is why teams love this hero, and they pick it up, not only for the vision, but the insane damage early on from safety, essentially.
Yeah, and the vision just supplies so much. I mean, especially when you have a lead overall, that is when you can really just start to get the noose around the neck, right? That is when you can really just start to keep AP.Bren exactly where you want them at all times. ONIC really starting to close in now.
Wow.
Gonna try to take this tier 2, and AP.Bren can do nothing about it.
Rose Gold Meteor built up for CW as well, so if the Swan Song does get utilized into the back, get CW, he'll still be able to survive it. 3-man Astral Echo as the Lord marches down bottom lane. This time with the first Lord looking for one base turret. Final slash flicker combo. Not going to be able to connect right now. CW free hits. Keyboy in the back. This might be the zone into the wild charge. Keyboy taking low. Swan Song and the Minas Fury Boots caught in enemy territory. 1v4, but the Lord was able to deal with the base turret. Now Super Marco's chasing Boots, but Boots is unkillable. He just walks out of there.
The body of Smith. The BOS.
The body of Boots.
The body of
Bob.
Boots. The Bob. That's what worked there. The
So
Bob.
I have to say, still almost worth it, honestly, for ONIC. At this point, when you're that far ahead, you can toss a body under the tower as long as you get the tower. ONIC, if they want to try to close this out quick, they have to make sure those towers go down. Kairi just stole the orange buff?
Yes, he did.
Looks like it. He's having a much better game this time around. Kyle Teasy, on the flip side, struggling this time, right? Even with the same pick, but really it's that lineup. It's the lineup difference here for ONIC this time around, and now they're the ones, right? With the 13,000 gold lead. So really, if you're trying to think about it as they get ready, is ONIC the team to just go ahead, slowly kind of whittle down the defensive of AP.Bren here until that next Lord? And at the same time, they still have the tools to actually force a fight. even if it's just Sans, giving the vision, poking them down like that.
Oh my God. He
Close
gets out very, very close. Are you telling me ONIC want to go for the siege
do.
without a Lord? That they do in the mid lane. Baser are going to be taken down. Boots, penalty zone, locking him down. Wild charge. Keyboy flickering back. CW melted Ogwen.
Oh.
And now it's Kai with a fracture of his fury. Even onto the blazing new effort. It's a double kill for Kairi, and Super Marco is forced back. Flap TZ falls. Game number 1, they ended it in 23 minutes. Game number 2, they're looking for the end in the 11th minute. No mini waves, they have to back up. Super Marco defending with 1 H1 member.
Most of the time, I feel like I can trust an ONIC with this draft, but still, because I want a game number 5, I'm gonna say that the Bees got this.
You say they got it.
They got it.
Okay. Well, once again, we're gonna see if the Bees got it, if they can extend the series. As right now, it's ONIC at match point here. And a decisive game 2 that we saw them. They're going in with a very risky, interesting, flashy team composition for game 3 to possibly close out the series and get closer to the golden road as we jump into the land of Dawn for game number 3.
All right, so let's be realistic here, right? We take a look at ONIC's composition. Definitely aggressive, a huge level 4 spike for almost every member of their team. Now onto the side of AP.Bren, they do have a lot, and I mean a lot of late game potential. Definitely a huge win condition for the side of AP.Bren. AP.Bren needs to try to slow them down. Watch out for the level 4 spike. Watch out for the mid-game spike overall. Few needs to stay as far back as possible. He can't get caught off by Sans. He can't get caught off by Keyboy. As long as Few can do that, it's definitely a possibility.
The Tyrant's Revenge on the Keyboy, forcing a flicker out. Calteezy jumping in with the damage. Kairi doing the same thing. Turned around, first blood, picked up by AP.Bren, but Kairi, the god in the jungle, takes a double kill.
Very quick.
2-1, already Naisu.
Already, you can feel it, right? Sans feeling pretty good about it. But again, how does that help?
The last time we saw Gushin, in the last tournament we saw Gushin, it was another San. It was Sanji on the Gushin. It's poetic that now it's Sans.
Very poetic.
Yeah, must be something about the first 3 letters there.
The Sans.
Kairi though.
Oh, he gets out. Beautiful dash away from the bouncing ball.
All right, so it's 2-1. Definitely still anybody's game. We're just getting started, but you can already feel the pressure, and so far the past 3 games have been full of this, but up on the top side.
CW gets a good hit, Super Marco taken low, and now someone's crawling down. The assassin from the mid lane. Super Marco has the Purify. Sans not able to find the angle, jumps in and gives CW the pressure he needs to shove the wave, and Sans is chasing Super Marco down. He's making him walk all the way under the tier 2.
Are they going to be able to deny Super Marco both of those gold cannons?
Yes.
Because if so, that is going to be huge. Here comes Few to try to help out. Try to get Super Marco in range just to get something there.
Sans picks up 1. He takes Few down. Now Kairi against Baptiste with the help of Boots. Keyboy as well. Boots finds the penalties onto the back. It's a killing spree for Kairi. Dodges away. He buys the turtle. ONIC are massacring AP.Bren in the first 2 minutes.
This is a lineup that I would like to just describe as finesse. That's what these heroes do, and that's how it's being executed right now by ONIC.
And not many teams around the world could pull off a composition like this, and they're hitting this level 4 spike so well right now. AP.Bren at this point needs to just be careful, maybe even not try to force the next turtle, maybe even try to just run away from any fights at this point, because they're gonna need a little bit of time. They gotta go help out Super Marco. Someone's gotta get up there, because if he keeps getting starved out, if he's a level or 2 behind CW, it is gonna be bad when we get to the 6, 7, 8 minute mark.
Okay, let's reel it in once again here. AP.Bren, they are down by 2,200 gold at this point in the game. Itemization-wise, they're still trying to work on those first items to get picked up here. But still, they can play around that too as they try to just buy some time. You said it yourself, Trex, trying to buy some time for Super Marco, protect him a little bit, right? Look at the pressure here.
I mean, half of that gold lead is in the hands of Kairi.
Spatial migration canceled out, but he's going to be pinned down. Super Marco Keyboy flickers out to safety, and CW gets out of the Tyrant's rage, not even utilizing the Purify.
ONIC. That's all I can say right now. They're all over the map. They have the movement speed, and here's the thing. They can attack these off lanes because they have such great dive potential right now. With the Gushin, with Kairi on this Nolan, it's hard to slow them down. It's hard to play safe because they can get right under your tower. CW dropped the Zaman's Force last fight, slows Super Marco down. There's no way for him to even get out, and that's what makes it so easy for them to get these pickoffs.
The scary part too is if you're looking at all the items, right? That was a Genius 1 picked up by Sans now. You have the Starlium Scythe on CW, so interaction-wise, magic damage-wise is going to hurt. Even Ogwin.
Zaman Force going to be used up. Ogwin with the Time's Rage, able to knock Keyboy down and flickers out to safety right now. Keyboy's going to be able to pop that Requiem, but Calteezy takes him out. Electrifying beat. CW not able to find Super Marco just yet, but a Turtle will be secured on the other side of the map with a Petrify connecting. Sans and CW turning around once again, and Sans body blocks the Astral Sphere. Flapteezy looking for another sort of initiation, but he will not be able to find it.
Just when Kyle Teasy finally pulls something off there, he goes a little bit too deep and it's taken out Naisu.
This is the, as I was saying, you know, Sans wasn't even part of the fight, but still you can see the damage potential with this lineup. Again, it does take a certain type of finesse to pull these heroes off, but so far, the interaction between them, it's building up, right? The power spike at this point in the game is clear, even given the situation. That's why, objectively, AP.Bren, it's better that some of these turtles, they have just, let's give it up, let's go ahead and farm up as much as possible. But see this Super Marco having a difficult time just trying to find the gold right now.
Violet Requiem onto Kairi's damage, onto Ogwin with a bouncing ball. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, CW gets picked off. It's a two-man dive into bottom lane. AP.Bren showing signs of life.
I love how in some of those last two fights we saw, ONIC isn't even worried about the bouncy ball. They're literally dashing right in it just to chase him down, dropping the Zaman's Force. At this point, ONIC, 3K gold lead, 6 minutes in. It's definitely a slightly slower pace than the snowball that they had last game, but they are just getting started. Hopefully in a minute or two, AP.Bren may be able to hit some sort of spike. But look at the gold lead in the gold lane, over 1K into the hands of CW. Super Marco just completing his Haas Claws, just completing his first item. That is a huge deficit, and he's supposed to be the big damage dealer. He's supposed to be the one that comes into the team around the 7-8 minute mark and is able to unload. We are seeing him already rotate down. Ogwin looking for something.
Tyrant's Rage, Revenge is well used up. Boots flashback all the way in.
Kairi!
Oh my goodness, the fracture from Kairi. Just takes Super Marco out. He pops the Purify, but he's unable to get out of the burst.
So again, talking about Super Marco being behind, this furthers it, right? It's getting a little drastic here. Oh, he lead.
Violet Requiem, incandescent, CW executes Flapteezy. And ONIC now are pushing their gold lead even further in this game. 3 turtles to nothing.
Okay, back to it objectively. 3 now in favor of ONIC. Gold lead building up here. You have to start to ask yourself, where is AP.Bren going to be able to find the comeback for this, right? Given the lineup that they have, the Joy, who has slipped through the cracks for the most part, but really hasn't been able to utilize. M-Series Facts, by the way, total kills ranking. Kairi has surpassed Carl Teasy's total kills in the M-Series. The Sky King is now ranked 4th with 201 kills.
You don't see that very often for a jungler anymore.
He's been in 3 M-Series, right? Yeah, ONIC PHM3, ONIC with M4 and M5.
He's come a long way, and right now, he is minutes. If they can win this game, he's minutes away from a grand final standing. ONIC is hungry for this, and it shows in their gameplay. Now, look at the gold earned. Kairi and CW just leading the pack right now. Few, Flapteezy, Super Marco sitting below almost everybody on the side of ONIC.
Taking a look at the items here. Once again, the biggest drastic thing that has to change here for AP.Bren is allowing Super Marco to get where he needs to be. A lot of times teams pick up the Bruno because usually you have the 2 items, you have the Haas Claws, you have the Berserker's Fury early on, and you're able to build up, scale up really quickly. But this time, ONIC had the answer for that, right? They've really slowed him down. And so if AP.Bren, they have to find a way to stay alive for the most part. And that's why you even see some of these defensive items being picked up, right? You have the Radiant Armors here now available to deal with some of this burst magic damage like we saw even previously from Kairi alone.
And now it gets really tough for the side of AP.Bren, right? How do they look for an angle here? It's technically, they have a lot of damage behind a lot of CC. They have Ogwen on that Kufra, who can look for a lot of disengages, re-engages, and even catches around the map. But they need to look for one big combo. It needs to be ONIC clumped up together. Unfortunately, with this kind of composition, I don't feel like there's any reason for ONIC to clump up together. They're all assassins.
Yeah, I mean, there's Boots, right? But for the most part, he's also just looking for his own angle to entry with a penalty zone. So for the most part, you're not going to be clumped up together if you're ONIC. Even with this, the conceal going to be used. They spawn out Ogwen for now. Uh-oh.
1v1 Suns! Solo kills Kyle Teasy in the bottom river. A mid laner taking on a jungler.
And he's doing it in fashion. ONIC take the Lord. AP.Bren, is there an answer at this point? It seems so difficult. Oh, another knock-up.
Spatial migration into the battle, Requiem into everything to take Ogwen down. That's the tank.
This is tough. Again, AP.Bren, their backs against the wall here. It is only that first Lord. But when you're dealing with this type of deficit, terms of economy, especially in the gold lane, it's tough to buy more time. Even if Ogwen lands the perfect rage and revenge setups combinations, do you have enough firepower to turn the tide of a fight right now? Holy Crystal being picked up as well. Turrets dropping after another as ONIC gets prepped and ready to knock on the base turrets of AP.Bren as they continue to take the resources.
Here's the thing, normally this type of gold lead between 2 teams like this, it would still be doable for AP.Bren. But when you draft a composition like ONIC has drafted here that is just so hyper aggressive, normally the reason you don't pick heroes like this, the reason you don't pick the Gusion in mid is because it is such risk reward. It has such an impact. But now that they have gotten to that reward, they've been able to scale. They're 10-3, they're 9K gold ahead. That is a dangerous concoction against AP.Bren. Take a look at San's build. He's got the glowing wand, and now he's even got the Winter Truncheon unlocked in just in case as a defensive measure. If he wants to go for that insane deep dive, he's gonna have the ability to help himself and get himself out.
And of course, it's Sans here in front of the home crowd favorites, recalling and showing that finesse.
The styling right there once again. Still, similar situation, AP.Bren trying to find anything they can. You already saw the disparity.
Oh! Spatial migration dodged away from, able to escape from the Tyrant's range. Final slash, whoa, by Flap Teasy. Not connecting onto anyone.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was a whiff.
Yep, tough one once again.
See it.
Call him how you see it, because that's the situation for AP.Bren. Once again, backs against the wall, it's tough. The damage though from Kyle Teasy.
Zaman forwards coming down, Kyle Teasy with electrifying fates! Boots finds a penalty zone! And that might just be it with a violent Requiem to take Ogwen down. Only one member left standing. It's View.
Oh my God, AP.Bren, this could be it.
With one last incandescence, the Sky Kings